good. Oh, blimey. Oh, what was that? Yeah. Hey, coming up in, I don't know, 13 minutes. Oh, yeah. What was that? Hold on. Oh, yeah. Hey, coming up in, I don't know, 13 minutes. Yeah, he's right. Yeah. So anyway, Daily Chaos coming up. Oh. Oh, hello. Oh, no, not that. Oh, for goodness sake. There you go. Oh, yeah, baby. You know what I mean. Do-do-do-do. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Go on, Gary. You know what I mean. Go on, mate. Oh, blimey. Hold on. What's going on there? Oh, no. Oh, it's probably better. There you go. 10 more minutes of music like this, I tell you what. God, blimey, lucky people. Lucky people. Oh, my goodness.
No, I'm not a writer.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, share the show, folks. Big show tonight. Bill Maloney coming on tonight. You should be watching on DLive, by the way. DLive is where you get the full video experience, and you'll see Bill too tonight. Bless him. He's going to be on Skype. If anybody wants to call in on Discord, I can see Lopi is already there in the green room. Please do. And I'm going to try my best to patch it through. I did some audio tests over the last couple of days, and I think there shouldn't be any echo working between Discord and Skype now, which would be awesome. But anyway, look, folks, big show tonight. Bill Maloney, who has done so much to uncover VIP paedophilia and, oh, God knows what else. And God bless him, he's an absolute hero. So he's coming up in a few minutes' time. I'm going to give him a shout in just a minute and patch him in. And so if you're watching an archive version, you might want to fast forward for 10 minutes. Otherwise, I'll see you at the top of the hour. Yeah, good. Share the show, folks. For goodness sake, get this one out. It's a good one tonight. Share it while you can, huh? Hey, Article 13 coming along, for crying out loud. blimey. I'm going to give Bill the shock of his life, aren't I, calling him with this music? Hey, Bill. Oh. Guy's on a bit of a loop, isn't he? Blimey. Come on, Bill, for goodness sake, pick up your bloody... I'll tell you what. Well, that's the end of that show. Hey, Lopey, how you doing? Lopey? Oh. I can hear you. I'm typing or something. I can hear the birds in the garden. Yeah, hark at that. Hark at that. Go on, give us a song. Oh, check that out. Fine. Blackbird. Oh well. Try the bloody guitar, for goodness sake. Come on, Maloney, for goodness sake, pick up your phone, man. Oh no. Oh, I can't listen to that. I can't listen to that. Awful. That's better. 4 minutes. Gary. Oh, blimey. Here we go. Check that out.
Calling is unable to take your call.
Great.
Please leave your message after the tone. To re-record your message, key hash at any time.
Hey, Bill, I'm trying to get you on Skype to Skype, mate. Failing miserably. Yeah. So now I'm calling your mobile. Anyway, give us a shout on Skype, mate. Oh, dear. Tell you what, let's just do this. Just do this.
Hello, welcome to Skype call testing service.
Hello.
After the beep, please record a message. Afterwards, your message will be played back to you.
I need a guest! For God's sake, get me a guest! Oh, blimey. Oh, dear.
I need a guest!
Oh.
For God's sake, get me a guest!
Oh, dear. Hold on. Oh dear, that's no good. That's not doing any good, is it? That's not doing any good. Let's see if we can get hold of this Maloney bloke. Oh dear. 1 minute, people. Yeah, we'll be there. Hold it. What's this? It better be better than the last one. Oh no, I'll tell you what, you just can't get the guests, can you? You know what I mean? You just can't get the guests. If anybody wants to call in on Discord, plan B. Yeah. Plan B. What is it? Oh, look at that. Do-do-do-do. Right. Oh, hold on. That's Lopi. That's Lopi's Blackbird. Right, you know what? Oh, for goodness sake. That's enough of that. Oh, that's enough of that. Oh, goodness sake. Do-do-do. Hey, folks. Good evening, good people.
Hiya.
And hey, Lopi.
Hello, my darling.
Hello, Blackbird. Welcome to the Daily Chaos. It's supposed to be Bill Maloney on tonight. I don't know. I spoke to him half an hour ago. Less than that. 20 minutes. Sorting out his audio. Here we go. Have a go. Bill! Pick up your Skype, man! I did have a chat with him, a few chats over the last few days. I tell you what, he's an amazing bloke. I'd really like to have shared that with you. I don't know that it's going to be possible now. But hey, let's have a chat. And if he catches up with us, then I'll try him and keep trying, and we'll, I don't know, have a moan. Yeah. Good football last night. I tell you what. I wish we were doing so well with Brexit. We need someone like Southgate for PM. Just goes for it. Yeah. But Theresa bloody May. Unbelievable. Right, okay, that's enough of that. Let's have a look and see what's going on in the world of fake stream. And guess what? It is all about. Hold on. Why is that doing that? Just one sec. Let me get this right. Let me see if I can get this right. Oh, yeah. There we go. No, it's not doing it. Okay. Let me see if I can get this right, because I want to show you what's going on today. Not my mixer. By the way, is the sound okay? And can you hear Lopi? Lopi, are you there?
Yes, my love, I can hear you perfectly.
That's good. Okay, so why is it that you...
For a change.
Yeah, you were going to get a decent microphone, weren't you? You haven't got it yet.
No, I got one.
You have? Where is it?
I'm using it.
Ah, okay. All right. Okay. Have you got it close to you? Is it on the other side of the room, or?
No, it's on my head.
It's on your head. You know, I had to do, I had to cancel an interview I was going to do earlier with somebody because their audio was so bad. Us folks, we've got so much to say in our community. We've got to do the best we can. But Lopa, yeah, no, sure. Okay. Okay. You went and got a headset. You actually got that because of me, didn't you?
Yeah.
I appreciate it. You do sound better than you used to. Yeah, okay. Helen Lasky-Smith says, Ollie, all of these hitches should have been sorted out before the referendum. I don't know if she's talking about my hitches or what hitches. Get on with it, Ollie, says Paul Routledge. Right, okay, well, it's all football today, isn't it? It was an amazing match, I've got to say. I mean, as distractions go, it was thoroughly awesome, wasn't it? And to win on penalties was quite incredible. And they were a pretty violent lot, the Colombians, quite frankly. And that guy should have been red carded. So it seems to me there was some poetic justice there. But my God, I mean, from the point of view of what's really going on, it's just the supreme distraction, isn't it? It is the absolute incredible distraction for the British people on what we really need to be concerned about, which is probably being covered more in, Online Express today, for example. It smacks of a stitch up. British MEP dismantles Theresa May's Brexit fisheries plan. Well, that's just one thing, isn't it? For example, yeah. Let's have a listen and see what some of these folks say. Michael Gove saying that we do hold the cards over the fisheries, which of course we do, for God's sake. Anyway, let's hear what he says. Is that going to play?
Say for sure what the outcome of that would be.
Well, Michelle, I'm describing the situation in international law, and of course it will be an annual negotiation, but it will be an annual negotiation where we hold the cards and we are in the driving seat. The difference at the moment is that the common fisheries policy allows, in fact requires, vessels from other countries to fish in our waters. By leaving the European Union and taking back control of our waters, then we're in a position where we decide access. Now again, as Bertie Armstrong of the Scottish...
You know, there's a story today, the Germans apparently are kicking up about this now. Some of their fishing corporate lot or whatever are saying they want to retain, they want to fight this, they want to retain their share of our fish. Oh, blimey. Anyway, Bill Maloney, it's like a record, isn't it? A broken record. Bill Maloney, hello, sir. God bless you, mate. Oh, that's Maria. That's Maria. That's Mrs. Maloney. Hey, Mrs. Maloney.
Good evening, Ollie.
How are you? That's good. Oh, I'm pleased that you caught up with us. That's awesome, because I really wanted to have this chat with Bill, and I was just going to parrot a load of stuff. It is Groundhog Day. It is Groundhog Day in the world of Brexit. Bill, let me pull you up, mate, because you're a lot more attractive than that Gove bloke. So there you go.
That's not saying so much, is it?
Oh no. Well. Blimey, I'll tell you, it's so frustrating. I will go through some of this just so that you can come in to get the gist of what I'm on about here with what's going on. Because, of course, the football was amazing last night. But I was saying, you know what? We need someone like that Southgate bloke in charge of the country, you know? Instead of this wishy-washy bloody Theresa May. I don't know what your views are specifically about Brexit. That's not the reason you're on the show, sir. But you know, I mean, they've got a mandate to deliver the democratic will of the British people. I was talking to Roger Arthur the other day, who reminded me that 408 of the 650 UK constituencies voted to leave the EU. That's 62.8%. Had that been a general election, it would have been an absolute landslide, no? And we've got this Theresa May who it seems to me, she just wants to completely betray the will of the British people, come what may, Bill. I don't know, do you have a take on this?
Yeah, well, I do, yeah. The thing is, when we come out of the European Union, will we lose a lot of our human rights, that we had while we was in Europe? I'm just concerned about, because I see the government and the institutions as completely corrupt anyway. Mm-hmm. I know you've got some decent people in there, but they're fighting a losing battle at the moment. Yeah. You know, Theresa May, I've got peace with Theresa May. Talking about it a few days ago, you and I, Ollie, that when they were saying, no, Theresa May hasn't got any children and you shouldn't say that. So what's that got to do with it? You know, you're having a go at the girls again. But I didn't see it like that, because our Prime Minister of this country will be in charge also of almost 14 million children. There's just about 68 million people in this country. So
are you saying you've got a good point about some of these things? But I mean, we could look after these things. We could look after these things ourselves, couldn't we? I mean, but we're not. I'm not saying that we're doing that. At least on national level, certainly. I mean, look at the charade that is the IICSA, for example. But on the other hand, we could be sorting out these things ourselves. No, Bill?
Well, we could be, and you know what I want to jump in on. Another thing you and I are talking about pretty quickly was victims of institutional child abuse. That is who I represent. I am one, and I'll be 63 on my next birthday, and I've been making films on this subject for about 12 years. And we have no weapons now. We spoke about the polygraph test, Ollie, you and I.
Yeah. You've got a very important...
If I can just explain it to the people, the polygraph test is used in 56 different countries, including Russia, Israel, America, etc., right? The Jeremy Kyle show decimates families on screen and off screen via the polygraph test. Now, a governing body called Ofcom allows Jeremy Kyle to do that.
Yeah. On a telly show.
Broadcasting. So why can't we victims take a polygraph test? Offer it to the accused first, but then if the accused refuses, then let us take one. For example, we've got Nick at the moment. Nick, they're saying the so-called fantasist, and who was talking about Dolphin Square, etc.
Dolphin Square, that's right. Nick was covered particularly on Xaro News, 2-3 years ago now. But he's been disgraced, hasn't he? He's supposed to have come forward and denied.
It depends on how you feel.
Whether or not he's been silenced is another matter. I don't know, Bill. Carry on.
The government allowed a Jeremy Kyle show to decimate families with that, right? Why can't Nick say, I'm going to take a polygraph test? I'll answer 3 questions.
Why shouldn't he be required to? I mean, is that not I don't know. I'm not sure. How accurate are these things, Bill?
Well, apparently, I know the guy who's in charge of the European and UK Polygraph Association, and he says now there's one that is 100%.
Really?
The other one, the older one, is 98% apparently.
Right.
So now we've got one that's 100%. Why can't we use this polygraph test?
And even where multiple victims come forward discussing the same accused, they also, I mean, even the old polygraph test, I guess, would give some kind of an indication if it's 98% and there's multiple victims alleged.
Well, the thing is, we do use it in this country. G4S has quite a big contract, and we use it on paedophiles that are let out on licence or parole, whatever they call it now. Every now and again, they have to take a polygraph test, and apparently 75% of them normally fail it. Why can't us victims have the polygraph test? That's what I would say to the people who are sitting on the CSA inquiry, who have never got in touch with me, by the way, or John Wedger, the whistleblowing police officer. And there's a film up, and it's called, on YouTube, it's called The Walking Whistleblowing Detective. And it is about this very, very brave man who had his family threatened, everything. The police tried to ruin him. And the same as they're doing to other decent whistleblowers. Like they've done to Lenny Harper. Lenny Harper exposed
Lenny Harper.
Jersey.
Lenny Harper, Bill.
Film Sun Seeing Satan. It was Lenny Harper.
Right.
Did you want to jump in there?
No. I was just going to say, John Wedger was on the show, and check that out. He's an amazing guy, an incredible bloke, ex-CID, and put me in touch with Bill, bless him, and I'm really grateful to that. These
we haven't
whistleblowers.
finished yet.
But hey, Bill. Hey, sorry.
We haven't finished yet.
No, I know, mate. These whistleblowers, they're incredibly valuable to us, but they're not getting any airtime in the mainstream media. The John Wedgers, Maggie Oliver, for example, and what's his name? The outed Savile, Wiltshire Police, top cop there.
I can't think of his name. We got Mike Veal as well.
Mike Veal. Mike Veal. That is Mike Veal. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, these people are amazing. They're not getting any airtime, Bill.
But can I just say quickly about Mike Veal? Mike Veal, he was the head of the police, chief of police of Wiltshire. And he said in an open statement that he was 120% certain that Edward Heath was a paedophile.
Incredible.
Now, Mike Veal, God bless him, he also wrote a report concerning a member of my family who alleged he was abused by Edward Heath. The government do not want us to go anywhere near it. Bring in the polygraph test. Put out an amnesty for whistleblowing paedophiles that expose the rings that they are working with or the rings that they were working with. An amnesty for whistleblowing paedophiles. Bring the polygraph test into it. Give us something to work with, for God's sake. We're talking about the torture, the murder, the sexual abuse, the psychological abuse, violence against babies, children.
And also,
we're one of the very few countries at the moment who still allow children to be slapped in this country. Anyway,
well, no, I was just going to say, Bill. Yeah, no, absolutely, and the resultant damage to society as well. This is something you carry throughout life, and affects your relationships with other people. You have been incredibly brave with what you've done. I had to tell you, I did tell you privately, there were two things that woke me up personally from a coma of, I don't know, conditioning from the British establishment and so on and so forth. Yeah. And the first thing was Building 7, what happened there on 9/11, specifically Building 7, really. And the other thing was Jimmy Savile. And when Jimmy Savile happened, I was like so many, I guess, who'd been, Jimmy Savile had been in the front room on a Saturday afternoon, and you watched it after, I don't know, Doctor Who or vice versa. And it was like almost one of the family sort of thing. It was part of the Saturday afternoon, when you're a kid, for so many people. And when it came out after he died, and sure, there were all sorts of allegations before, but when the plethora of folks came out off the back of his death, saying what they were saying, I, as a lot of other people did, I guess, I went online and I started looking into it. And I looked into it really quite a lot. And one of the things I saw was your documentary, Sun, Sea, and Satan. Bill, for anybody that doesn't know about that documentary, would you please sum up what that's about? Because it is an absolutely incredible documentary, sir.
Well, I was at New York Film Festival where we done very well in New York. And I heard the story about Hope de la Garenne on the island of Jersey. And it triggered something in me. This was quite a few years ago. It was quite a few years ago, 10 years ago at least. And it triggered something in me about things that were happening to me. But I wasn't so much started to think about me. It was about what happened to the other members of my family and what abuse happened to myself and other children at different children's homes, and especially children's homes, young offenders institutions, orphanages. They love the orphans, I don't know why I was put into an orphanage with my brothers and sisters, because we weren't orphans, so that was another bit of a dodgy affair going on. See, I'm trying to think, and I spoke to you about this, Olly, when we talked. I have a serious security issue about what I can say and what I can't say, because I went right underground. So if I can jump back to John Wedger, John Wedger is a decorated recently retired police detective with numerous medals to his name, and commendations. And there was also another detective that the three of us were working together anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And the way the man was treated and what he's coming out with, and he's being ignored. He's being ignored. He's one of the bravest men that I have ever met. Now, when these whistleblowers are coming out, you know, Mike Veal, Lenny Harper, Maggie Oliver, etc., we can all see the way they're being treated because they're telling us. That's what we need. We need police officers, especially the ones that are not serving now, ex-police officers, brave people. And you do have to be brave to be a police officer. Come on, you know, it's all, you know, at the rallies and people get the hump with them and, you know, spit at them and all that. But we do need them. And
yeah, we do.
Theresa May, when she got rid of 20,000 police officers, there was a lot of them that were the old school and detectives as well and people that were up for retirement.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what's happened to this country because when you get the police force, police officers,
it's like Obama
in,
with the US generals. He did a similar thing with the US military. Carry on.
When you get the young police officers, the new police officers coming in, the most important thing they need are mentors. We are losing mentors. The kids are losing mentors. All our Lidos, our swimming pools have been closed down. Yeah. All our youth clubs have been closed down. Our boxing clubs, our amateur football clubs. So you couldn't walk across Blackheath on a Saturday or Sunday because every inch of it was taken up by football. That was Theresa May that done that. And as far as the child sex abuse inquiry is concerned, we had 4 chairs. 4. For fuck's sake. Sorry.
Yeah.
First and only expletive, I hope.
Is it 4 or 3? It is it
4?
No, it's 3, Bill, isn't it?
We're on the 4th, aren't we?
Are we on the 4th? I thought that she got rid of 3, didn't she? No, she got rid of 2 and another one resigned. And the 2 she got rid of basically had links to Leon Britton.
And it's the politicians they don't want. Because people are now talking about SRA, satanic ritual abuse, and Edward Heath is highlighted in that.
But are they not now saying...
Country, can I just say that this country is working with its ego to build a reputation, a new reputation, not just because of child abuse, but for lots of stuff that's gone on in this country over the years. And that's what I believe is happening. But polygraph tests for us victims if we want them or need them. And also for the accusers, because they should be offered it first.
I read that the IICSA was now not going to investigate alleged paedophilia and so on, abuse from politicians. Bill, have you heard anything about that?
No, why do you think that is, though? Strange, isn't it? What a surprise. We don't get us victims. We don't have no more surprises.
That was about a month ago I read that. And I don't know what truth there is to it, to be honest with you. But I read that in the mainstream media, buried under. And I'll tell you, I mean, you look at any day. And I mean, let's have a look now. Yeah, I've just pulled up the BBC News. Yeah. Macron, just looking at the running order. And what is your sense of priorities here? Yeah. Macron warning on Africa migrant centres. They're basically trying to sell us migration still. Despite the fact that all of Europe is revolting and saying, you know what, we got a problem because we're not integrating. We need to look at that. It's all just distraction, really, from things that are going on at home. At home, Phil.
If you're bringing in the amount of people that you're bringing into this country, let's open up the green belt and build some more cities. They won't open up the green belt. We still doff our caps to these pricks.
Bill, why we shouldn't have to open up the green belt? Why should we need to open up the green belt and take away more of our heritage? When the problem is that, I mean, we got so many folks in the country on 0 hours contracts and goodness knows what. It doesn't make sense to build more and more and more and create more and more no-go areas. No, Do we, I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's really a question of integration, isn't it? And a slightly different debate. But that we are at the moment, we're not addressing it, are we? You seriously think just let people in and build more houses on the greenbelt?
No, but I'm just trying to say, what are they doing? If they keep talking about more immigration, where are all these people going to go? They've got to have somewhere to go.
We need to stop waging a legal war, probably, and also this we need to give slightly fairer trade terms, probably, to, for example, African farmers, so that maybe they got an incentive to preserve their culture. And but I mean, these illegal wars are hardly helping, Bill. No, we're creating the problem, and then you got Merkel that says, "Look, come on in," and then there's chaos because we're not integrating properly. I don't know. But
what you're talking about, but I'm not here to talk about that.
No, that's right, Bill. I'm sorry. I was just saying though. The point.
There,
the BBC.
You know what I mean? Went off on one. I was.
No, that's all right, Bill. The news agenda, instead of looking at these intrinsic problems that we have with our society, problems that are massive. They're not just the VIP paedophilia, but the wider paedophilia throughout society.
Can I just listen, Ollie?
One sec, Bill. One sec. Let me ask you the question.
The VIP paedophilia could be controlling world politics via blackmail, because don't forget, it wasn't just Bill Clinton that went
exactly
to Epstein's Island.
Hence the distraction.
So did what's his name? Trump. He went there as well
to Jeffrey Epstein's Island.
Yes, and then all these politicians around the world and the child abuse, and they get together. There are murders. I think, was it in the Dutroux case in Belgium? Yep. Something like 80-odd witnesses died in the first year of the investigation.
Let me just say, Bill, briefly, please, that I've seen the accounts of 26 logged flights from Bill Clinton on Jeffrey Epstein's Lolita Express. I haven't seen the same, which I have looked for, about Donald Trump. But I do understand that they did know each other somehow. But I don't know. You're saying he did definitely go to Epstein's Island.
Maybe they didn't put his real figures up because he was going to be the next president. Come on, Ollie.
I don't know. I don't know the deal with that. I have read the case about Bill Clinton. But what you say is borne out by, at least more locally in the UK, by things that have been said by people like Tim Fortescue. Yeah, I want to play this quote quickly, Bill. But this is Ted Heath's chief whip talking about how paedophilia is used to get MPs to basically toe the government line, and sell the government message. This is the government that took us into the EEC.
Anyone with any sense who was in trouble would come to the whips and tell them the truth and say, "No, I'm in a jam. Can you help?" It might be debt. It might be scandal involving small boys, or any kind of scandal which a member seemed likely to be mixed up in. They'd come and ask if we could help. And if we could, we did. And we would do everything we can, because we would store up brownie points. That sounds a pretty nasty reason, but it's one of the reasons. Is if we can get a chap out of trouble, then he'll do as we ask forevermore.
Tell me you could hear that, Bill, please.
Yeah, but I have heard it.
Yeah, I bet you have. Incredible.
I already. What it is, right? Yep. Is what are we going to do about it? What are we going to do about it? The best thing I can see at the moment is to bring in the polygraph test. Otherwise, what would you do about it? Ollie, you tell me, what would you do about it?
Well, for a start, I would make the deterrent. For a start, I would enforce the law, and I would also make the deterrent a lot more serious. But also, I think that your idea for a polygraph test does make a lot of sense. I'm not a scientist, so I don't know the ins and outs of it, but the logic of it, yes, for God's sake, of course.
Yeah, so let's, they are enemies, not just of the state, of the world. And when you go into the SRA, they like to torture children. They like to torture babies.
Bill, we've got Danny Snow saying hunting groups are watching. Yeah. And what do you think of the paedophile hunters, Bill?
What do I think of them?
Yeah. The service that they're providing. Or some people would say that they're getting in the way, but the fact is that the police, as we know from people like John Wedger, are not investigating. And so they're making up a gap, no?
Well, that's a classic example. The police came to me because of my cohesion with victims and my knowledge. Now, the paedophile hunters, they have studied what they are doing. And if they are taking paedophiles off the street or exposing paedophiles, good luck to you, lads. Love ya. And girls as well, because I know it's not just the boys doing it. These are the common people, a lot of these, of this country. And I talk the common language, well, the lower working class language of southeast London, if you like. Mm-hmm. There is still a class system going on in this country. We were called the swine. When David Cameron put his prick in that pig's mouth, that was us. And I'm not the only one who got that. I'm not the only one who understood that. That was the Prime Minister, because I was called swine so many times in the care system. And a lot of the time, who used to like it was the awfully, shut up, you little swine. I'll tell you a sad story. My brother Tony and I, we were both at a place called Shirley Oaks. Okay, and Jimmy Savile was going there, and so were politicians and all sorts, and it's being investigated at the moment. They've actually thrown £100 million at the victims, but obviously there's going to be costs and whatever to come out of that. Now, when me and my brother Tony, there was 7 of us all together, siblings, and myself and my brother Tony, I wouldn't leave him, and he wouldn't leave me. And we were so hungry in the children's homes, we would bite our nails, chew them, and I used to say to him, "Chew it, Tony, chew it." And then we'd chew it, and then we would swallow it. Now, my brother Tony, he was luckier than me because he could get his toe. I'm talking about our fingernails, but my brother Tony could get his toes in his mouth, so he used to bite his toenails as well because we were hungry. This is fucking England, and Her Majesty, you know all about this, yeah. And I met you fleetingly once on Jersey. You know, and Harry, your mental health problems are coming from when you was in that Apache helicopter and you started taking life, men, women and children. And if you kill someone, if you're a human being and you kill someone, that will come back to you as you get older. Or have these people just not got any consciences? Look what was happening with Israel and the Gaza Strip. They're using live rounds. These people were demonstrating. Just imagine us all in Westminster Square, outside Parliament, say, and then the police started unloading on us. That's what they were doing to the Palestinians.
The Spanish did it to the Catalans, but only with rubber bullets, but nonetheless with bullets.
Yeah, but rubber bullets still kill.
Yeah, they can do. They certainly can.
Absolutely.
We've got Lopey popped in as well. Lopey, I muted you a while back because your blackbird was very noisy in your garden. But if you're about, you can join us. And if anybody does want to call in on Discord, guv.li/rant, if you've got any questions for Bill. Lopey, is there anything you'd like to say, my dear?
First and foremost, I wanted to go and mention first, hello, Mr. Bill.
That's Andy Harry.
And I wanted to go and say, how can you a true cause that a polygraph is not fixed, that the people producing it.
Hello?
Lopey. Can you not hear her at all, Bill?
No.
You can't hear Lopey at all? Oh, no. Oh, for crying out loud. Look, Lopey, I'm sorry. Ask me your question and I'll I'll ask the question for you. Go on, Lopi. What is it? The polygraph test.
How do you know? How do you know? How do you get somebody or prove that somebody that's not the one taking the test, but one administering is truthful and trustful so that the test is not fixed or altered? How can you make sure that that's
all right.
possible?
Thanks, Lopi. Bill, the question is, how can you be sure that the test is truthful? Because you need to rely on somebody to perform the test.
Lopi's right. Lopi is right. There's a guy called Ben Fellows, and Ben Fellows was going to take one. He said, but if I take one, Bill, I'm going to Russia. I'm not taking it here.
Ben Fellows is the guy that libelled Ken Clark and went to court and
walked out a free man. That's
right. He did.
Yes.
He did. It was actually not about the allegation, the court case, was it? I can't remember precisely what it was, but was it not? It was more to do with contempt of court or something, wasn't it?
Ben was involved when he was younger. Ben knows what he's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe Ben Fellows.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe Ben Fellows. And Ben Fellows was willing to take a polygraph test. But we cannot trust the polygraph testers in this country because a lot of them, like I say, are working for G4S who have the government contracts, etc., etc. G4S are really big in this, you know. The kids they were looking at, they was getting ridiculous amounts of money for putting kids in young offenders institutions, care homes, whatever they want to call them, and it's all about money. But Lopi's right. You're right, darling. I wouldn't. I think I would go out of this country to take a polygraph test or stick there's got to be cameras watching everything. But it can be done.
Even that can be altered.
And we can't just say we're not using the polygraph test because we've got no one we can trust. We'll train our own people. We'll train our own people to do it.
Come on, Lopi, what were you going to say?
Even if the camera can be altered,
Even a camera can be altered.
Yeah. I mean, there are dogs that can sniff DNA.
Is Lopi still talking?
Yeah, she is, Bill. She is. Yeah. No, sure. I mean, this is a real problem. Okay. All right. Dave Witcher says, send Bill my love, says Dave Witcher to you, Bill Maloney. And he also says, give Pie and Mash Films a plug, which I have. Sunsea and Satan haunted me, he says. And yeah, no, I agree with you, Dave. It was quite a remarkable documentary.
Can you imagine what it was like being out there?
Pretty difficult, I would have thought, Bill.
I don't know. Did you ever see a film called American Werewolf in London?
Yes.
Do you remember when they walk into the slaughtered lamb?
Yes.
That's what it was like there.
Haunting.
That's what it was like.
Haunting. Yeah.
We had to stick into our doors, into the doorstops. We decided to put matchsticks. We went out, done our work for the day, come back, all the matchsticks were on the floor. That was on Jersey. And I did meet the Queen on Jersey.
What do you mean? Fleeted. What do you mean, Bill? What do you mean? Your matchsticks were on the floor. What do you mean?
So it meant that someone had been in, the doors had been open, someone had been looking in our rooms,
right.
And we told them we were a film crew and we didn't want part of our deal when we rented this place on the edge of the Royal Golf Course on Jersey,
right.
Was that we didn't want any cleaners coming in because we had technical equipment and we're going back a long time when it first started, the digital age, really, I suppose, if you like.
Yeah.
And so we done that, and then when we came back, the matchsticks were on the floor. So they did come in, and I phoned the guy. He said, no one has been in that bungalow. And I said, okay, are you sure? Because, one of our cameras was on the floor. It wasn't. I was just trying to fanny it for him, as we say, to get out of it. And then our security went bang through the roof. And on the way back, out of everyone who got on the aeroplane, I was the only one who was searched. And they didn't look in my pockets or anywhere. They just wanted to look in my camera bag. The woman took the camera bag out and started it up. And she said, is there film in it? And I said, no, there's just a blank tape. And she went, oh, and she looked a bit disappointed at that. And I got on the plane anyway. But I would just like to emphasise that as much as John Wedger has been bullied, outrageously bullied by cowards, yes, cowards. That's what you are. All you people that bullied John Wedger, you are cowards. And Lenny Harper, you cowards done the same to him.
Tell us about Lenny Harper, Bill, because I don't know as much about him.
People, I don't want to go too much into Lenny. People can look up Lenny Harper, but he's a very brave. He's an Irishman, very brave, and he's the one that cracked it out there. And to this day, Lenny still says that children were killed, buried, etc. there, because Lenny and John Wedger are talking to each other and have been for quite a long time. And when we get our information or whatever work we're doing.
Did Lenny have anything to do with Kinkara?
This is a security thing. That's what I'm talking about, all right? I just want the people who aren't on our side, that we put our information everywhere. Okay, so if anything happens to any of us, then it all goes crack, comes out. And it's like Chris Fay. Chris Fay is the most important witness.
Yeah.
He's an ex-Greenwich counsellor and ex-social worker.
Yeah.
And he, as far as I'm concerned, and he's also a victim, he is one of the most important witnesses in this country.
Well,
as far as the child abuse inquiry is concerned,
he gave us a big a load of the inside story on Elm Grove Guest House. No,
Elm Guest House, yeah.
Elm Guest House in
yeah,
Barnes.
that's where allegedly Cliff Richard, known as Kitty, went regularly, and also Leon Britton.
They were both on the list that was put together by that lady who owned the place with her husband and then died.
Yes,
mysteriously.
Carol Kazir, her name was
Carol Kazir. Yeah.
Now, Chris Fay was shown photographs of Carol Kazir. He knew Carol Kazir.
Yes.
Carol Kazir, one of the photos she showed him was Leon Britton sitting naked with a naked child.
So
Leon
we understand.
Hang on, this is important. Let me just finish.
Yep.
Let me just finish.
Yep.
See, the story's gone.
No, sitting on his. There is a picture of a kid about 12 years old or something sitting on Leon Britton's knee, allegedly, that Carol Kazir had.
Right, now he saw that. Chris Fay. Chris Fay was also threatened with a gun to his head by the police, and Chris Fay had 3 bullets come through his kitchen window, and it took the police an hour to get there. Nothing was ever done about it. Chris Fay is a very, very important witness, very important. Yeah. But he has a bit of a criminal background. But there's especially the men, I don't know many victims, very few, where we haven't picked up in our teens when we were young, police, we've been in trouble with the police. So we'll have like criminal records, as they want to call it. After we've been beaten, sexually abused, and God knows what else in these institutions. I don't know what they expected.
Push to the limit, Bill. Thomas White says, our police force and armed forces have been cut for 2 reasons. The first one was the longer you have been in service, the more you get to know. But the main reason is to change our police force to a private police force, G4S, a part of PESCO. And guess who is one of the directors for G4S? May's hubby. Thomas White gets a lot of grief for his activism. I know that. Blimey. Oh, bless you, mate. Shawnee Taylor says people should read about John Wedger. Yes, they should. And Joe Blogg says destabilization of the West is the plan. Order out of chaos. Order out of chaos. But first, the chaos. The Hegelian dialectic. Thomas White, they'll be going in your home and mine because we are being wiped out, but people don't wake up. And Joe Blogg says, maybe address the fact that homes are almost unaffordable by most of the population today, caused by the 2008 crash before deciding to build more. And Bill, the big problem is that the media just isn't covering this stuff, yeah? I mean, when you got the likes of you and what you did with Pie and Mash Films, when you got the likes of, and with your experience, and when you got the likes of John Wedger, so incredibly qualified, when you see what happened to Mike Veal with Operation Conifer suspended, and he was basically off on sick leave for a while and then put onto a different force entirely, it's quite clear that we're not really getting anywhere, are we? I mean, it's very, very frustrating. Things do not seem to be improving, no?
It is very frustrating because like this kicked off 10 years ago, 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And then reached a peak. And then Theresa May started it. She slowed it right down. And then, like you say about the national press, the way the national press are at it, who or what are they covering? Because a lot more people are going on to shows like yourself, and if they want to watch films, not many people are going to the pictures anymore, are they? You know what I mean, Ollie?
Yeah.
The digital age made it so easy to make films. That's why I started making films. First of all, as you know, I was in drama.
Yes.
And I was doing dramatic films, and I was winning awards in different festivals, etc. And I was getting quite big, and I had some very good people, strong people behind me as well. And they didn't want me in there. They didn't want me in the entertainment industry. They did not want me in there. And now I think I know why. So
yeah, I guess you were too noisy. It's in your character to be a bit noisier than a lot of victims, huh, Bill? And I'm guessing that they didn't want to deal with that.
It wasn't just in Hollywood. It wasn't what was going on in Hollywood with the women. It was also going on with the children in Hollywood, not just women.
Yeah.
And not just gay guys and that were being abused, etc. There were children. There were children. And now, when I met the two detectives, they were both serving. I said, "What do you want to talk to me about, chaps?" And they said, "SRA." And I said, "What is SRA?" And they told me satanic ritual abuse. And I thought, fucking hell, I can't believe this.
Bill, language, sir.
Sorry, because I've got two proper guys here in the Metropolitan Police, very, very brave men, and really done a lot of great work and recognised for it in their careers, are saying to me, this happens, Bill. It's not. I'm not looking at conspiracy theories on the internet or people trolling or whatever. This is all of a sudden you get two police officers of that. I don't know how to put it, because they're so great. And when they tell you that, especially me, what am I supposed to do?
Do you think, you mentioned the Me Too movement, do you think that that's a distraction?
What is the Me Too movement? I was miles away then.
That's all the women that are coming out and saying they've been abused.
No, yeah, right.
There's a movement for Me Too. But what about the kids in Hollywood, for example?
I've got a daughter, you know.
Corey Feldman and that lot. Go on.
Huh?
Corey Feldman came out, didn't he, Bill, for example, and started talking about it. A few folks have. There's no talk about the paedophilia in Hollywood, for example, and it seems like the Me Too thing is being used. I don't know. Do you think it's maybe a distraction?
Women have changed. And what people don't ever want to talk about women. And the love of my life isn't here at the moment, because I'm sure she would agree with me. Like when I first met my wife, well, she's sort of getting on now, so she's going through the menopause now, and she's doing really well. But when she used to have a period, the week before, she would change, and she knows that. And women they're not like us. You know, women they're different. They seem like more creative, if you like, in the way they like to look and the way they like to go out. You know, I'm not here to dig out. If it weren't for women, I wouldn't be here. Neither would you. But you know, let's not go silly over it.
That's Lopi in the background. Lopi in the background's laughing. Go on. Go on, Lopi. What do you want to say? What do you want to say to that, Lopi?
What I was talking about is they closed all the pubs down in this country. So if you're of a lower working class genre now, you have to go into Witherspoons because the others are ridiculous prices. Now, I'm sticking with the women thing here. That was because of the middle class guys. And they became professionals and and they hated us. And the reason they hated us was because their women loved us. And the women used to love coming to the lower working class pubs down the Old Kent Road, the Lord Wellet and the Bricklayers Arms, etc., and all over the country, because the lower classes, we're not taught to talk.
Bill, tell me, do you think that the British public can now trust the BBC?
I think the British public have to get up their arses and do something about it. That's what I think. That's what I think we should do. I'm not here to make enemies, but that's how I feel after being involved in this and being brought up in that system as well. And I would just like to say that the four of my brothers and sisters that spent the majority of their lives in the care system are all dead. And 3 of them are younger than me.
And you put that down to the abuse that they suffered, Bill?
Absolutely.
No?
Absolutely. You find right round about, it's about 90% of the people that are living on the street are being abused in some way or another when they was children. And it's not just like, you know, paedophilia. It's like people are still beating their kids. In this country, they used to hit us with canes. I'll tell you what, Ollie, did you ever have the cane?
I got the hairbrush nearly every week at school. That's another story.
Well, that's bad enough. That's bad enough. But the cane, when you're stripped naked and you are hit on the arse with a cane, and you lose count of times, and you you think, I'm going to die in a minute.
Yeah.
I had a nun I was put into an orphanage at the age of 3, and I didn't come out until I was 6.5. And then I went into other children's homes. But a nun in that orphanage, it was Catholic, every single night she used to come into the dormitory, over to my bed, pull the covers down, turn me over, pull my trousers down, and hit me with the hard side of a hairbrush every night. Every night. Now I'm not crying for myself, you know what I mean? It wasn't just me. There were many, many children, and they are my age now. And we are not all fantasists. We are not stupid. They don't want me talking in places on the national media because I'm too strong for them. The same as they didn't like our pubs because their women liked us. How's that? I was almost levitating then, Ollie.
You can do a bit of levitating if you want. Thomas White says, you have that wrong about Trump. Trump want to get rid of child porn. There's conversation going on in the comments. Do you think, Bill, that social services, specifically...
I think Donald Trump, I think that Donald Trump had to cover himself. Okay, I know what he done, and he was going to shut down all the paedophile rings, and not the one he was with though, not his one. Not his one.
I don't know.
It's called the best form of defence is attack.
I don't know. It's so hard to know what to know about that. I mean, there seems to be a lot more evidence regarding the Clintons' involvement. Bill, it has to be said, from John Podesta's emails disclosed on WikiLeaks. But I don't know.
Hillary Clinton also went to Little James Island, which was Epstein's island. And Epstein also gave a loan to Fergie, Sarah Ferguson.
That's right. 16 grand or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Prince Andrew. And we see Prince Andrew
yeah.
and what about, let me
they were pals.
Forget that. There was a better one. Jimmy Savile on YouTube. I think it's Michael Parkinson that is interviewing him, and Jimmy Savile goes right through this story where he procures a young girl at Balmoral for Prince Philip. Jimmy Savile is coming out of his mouth. He's saying it. Have you seen that?
No, I haven't seen that.
And the same thing
and there's so much more evidence that,
Jimmy Savile was recorded talking about procuring a kid for the Duke of Edinburgh, Bill.
Yeah, Prince Philip.
Prince Philip. You're saying that there is video of that
online on YouTube. I think it's Michael Parkinson.
So
and there's also
he was presumably
this is important, more important, right? There's Jeffrey Dickinson who handed over, who had the files, right? Jeffrey Dickinson, yeah.
That took the dossier to Leon Britton.
There is a film up with Jeffrey Dickinson saying that SRA. He's talking about SRA, satanic ritual abuse against children. They're saying, and when I talk in Parliament, they all boo me down. No one's talking about what Jeffrey Dickinson. Oh, everyone's saying he handed the files over. Watch the video. I don't know what the video's called, but it is Jeffrey Dickinson talking about SRA on YouTube.
When that video of Savile on Parkinson, is he making a joke of procuring a kid for Prince Charles?
Well, he's trying to make it look like a joke.
Yeah, made it look like a joke. Really? Bloody, I'm going to have to find that. That's amazing. If anybody can find that clip for me, I'll play it. If you can find me that clip, I'd be amazed. And that really is the heart of the problem, isn't it, Bill? And that's where it does look. As people have said in the comments, they're trying to cover it up. And if you've got people like Louis Mountbatten, Prince Philip, and Prince Charles, the heir to the throne for crying out loud, involved with someone like Jimmy Savile, it is inconceivable that MI5 did not know what Jimmy Savile was. Not just a paedophile, but also a serial necrophiliac and somebody that used to go around the wards at Stoke Mandeville raping incapacitated patients, as best we can understand. I spent, 13 or 11 Christmases with the Thatchers at Christmas. It just beggars belief that MI5 didn't know what that guy was. No, Bill?
Well, I interviewed...
Just a sec, Lopey, one sec. Go on, Bill, please.
Yeah, I interviewed a witness of Operation Fernbridge, and he said that he filmed Jimmy Savile having sex with a boy in a mortuary. And he said the boy was 14. And I said, how do you know he was his age? How do you know he was 14? He said, because it was on the tag on his toe. And Jimmy Savile started having sex with him or doing what he was doing. And also, the Broadmoor thing.
Yeah. He was basically given the keys to Broadmoor by Edwina Curry. Sorry, go on.
Exactly. And what is the point in even talking about it when we know what happened? This is a DJ. He's been given the keys and put in charge of Broadmoor, the biggest mental institution in this country with the most dangerous people in it.
Yeah, incredible. But people reckon
my veins are sticking out now.
But people reckon that he was given these favors and he was given safe harbor because he was procuring kids for VIPs. I don't know the truth of it. Lopey, what did you want to ask, my dear?
Well, I wanted to remind you.
Go on.
In an interview with Princess Diana before she died.
Interview with Princess Diana just before she died. Yeah, go on.
She was going to leak information about Jimmy Savile and the goings on with the royal family.
She was going to leak details about Savile and the goings on with the royal family. Are you sure it was about Savile? She didn't specify Savile. She did say that she was going to come out with something big, didn't she? About a week before she died.
Yes. And
I remember the interview. Go on.
One of the reasons why she was murdered.
Do you think, Bill, that Lopi could be correct in her suspicion that one of the reasons, if not the reason, that or the main reason or a major reason that Diana was killed was because of what she may have known about the likes of the heir to the throne?
Yes. Lopi, 130%. That's 10% above what Mike Vill gave.
Yeah. It is. We're just supposed to just accept this, yeah. Us British folks, just like a head of state has got a family just swimming with paedophiles. How involved they are themselves, we don't know. But frankly, we suspect a lot. No, if not, as like Bill says, for example, satanic ritual abuse. Who knows? And he mentioned Ducrot, the Dutch case, and there's so many cases that overlap. I mean, Bill, another something that you were talking to me about personally the other day. It's this connection with the Cray twins. You believe, yeah, that they were procuring kids for VIPs.
Oh yeah, I'm not my own on that one, so I don't mind saying yes.
And so again, because they were protected, weren't they?
Why is the industry making films about these people,
glamorizing them?
Why are they doing it? Why didn't they put the child abuse in heavily? Why don't they tell the story properly? If you're going to tell the stories, tell it properly.
Okay, got a question for you, Bill, from I don't know. Hold on, who's this from? From Joe Blogs. Never mind. Maybe Olly Connelly will ask this question. Question for Bill. Is it true that pushing a child to the edge of fear, oh, blimey, this is going to be nice, secretes a liquid that is then extracted and sold to the super rich to prolong life? Been seeing a lot of this as an explanation, especially in the Project Monarch whistleblowers. MK Ultra asks Joe Blogs. Bill.
Well, Joe, I don't know about that, but one thing that came out about 2 years ago, that there is now a treatment called a vampire treatment, and it can rejuvenate organs in the body, and it has to be a child's blood. It is strongest when it comes directly from the child to the adult, but that you can still use it like in their plastic bags, if you like. So it's not the same as what Joe was talking about, but that vampire treatment. And then I've heard so many things about the nurse that was found hanging after Prince Philip was brought in there. And then someone said to me, do you think that she might have seen a transfusion between a baby and him? And I said, well, I wouldn't be surprised. If it's possible, if it's probable, it's possible. If it's possible, it's probable.
That's probable. The nurse, Bill. That's the nurse that hung herself a few days after what's his name, William and Kate had their eldest, their firstborn, and the allegation is whether or not the child was swapped or something, whether she was even pregnant. And what did the nurse know? No. I don't know.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about Prince Charles. Right. Prince Philip was in there. He wasn't well, and he was in there for about 5 days. And the strange thing is, his wife, the Queen, never went to see him. And then some theories came out about, and I thought, this is crazy. And then it came out. I think it might have been on the front page of the Times or the Guardian or something like that. And it was called "The Vampire Treatment is Real."
Did Prince Philip's nurse commit suicide, Bill?
I don't know.
Sorry, I don't know. Maybe I misheard you. But yeah, you think that these people...
No, not Prince Philip's wife. No.
Hey?
The nurse in the hospital, when Prince Philip was taken to the hospital a couple of years ago, she was found hanging.
Right. So that's 2 nurses who've died in the last 10 years or something attending to the royals.
There was also a young girl found dead, body decomposed, they said, at Sandringham about 3 or 4 Christmases ago. Do you remember that?
Yeah,
we haven't heard anything since. Nothing since at Sandringham. That's where they were.
I did read something about that. Yes.
Yes, the girl was found dead, and they didn't. How she died, don't know. Same as my sister Diana. Cause of death unascertained. Liars, coroners. I don't trust them.
We've got Carl Stephen popped in. Carl, what would you like to ask, sir?
Hello, I just popped in to say I found the link for you. The Jimmy Savile link. I've put it in the comments on Facebook, Ollie.
Oh, cool. All right. Okay. Thank you. You put it in Facebook. Facebook in the comments. All right. I'll go and have a look, mate. I will go and have a look. Bill, Carl, hold on. What's going on there? Yeah. Carl Stephen here has found a link for the Jimmy Savile clip on let me see if I can play that. For the Jimmy Savile, yeah. So see if we can play this. This is Jimmy Savile on Parkinson. Or at least I hope it is.
Shall I tell you a very good fix that I did with a young lady at Buckingham Palace? I was at a reception at Buckingham Palace. That's the place where the Queen lives and Prince.
I know, they keep the Queen there, yes.
And it's not an easy gaff to penetrate. Very, very...
Wait a minute, what's that? Not an easy...
There's not an easy place to get into.
That's
yes. Right. Yeah. So I was at this reception.
Bill, can you hear this, mate?
Yes, I can, yes.
Okay.
And there was a very nice lady and gentleman said to me, my daughter would be so pleased to know that I've met you and this, that and the other. And I said, oh yes. Where is she? And they said, she's in the back of the car. I said, what, in the boat? And they said, no, we've sneaked her in the back of the car so she can say she's been in the palace courtyard. I said, and you've got her stuck out there? I said, oh, leave it to me. And they went, no, please don't. I said, no. So I went to see a minder and said, they've got this situation and I'm bringing a friend in. So I said, listen, who's going to object to you? So I said, all right. Now, the palace staff are the most excellent people, right? On the way out, I explained very briefly what I was going to leave it to us. So I went out into the car park, which is a courtyard inside the palace, and I shouted the young lady's name. Next minute, she's holding my arm, and next minute we're marching up the steps right into the palace. Well, the staff had done it right. The two footmen opened the two great doors, and inside there were all the majors and the colonels and the household staff. It's a most elegant situation and tremendously rewarding, right? And of course, when she sees this spectacle of the carpet and the people all standing there, and they all give a little graceful dip as she walked by, and she was now hanging onto me like a lifebelt, understand? Right? And we walked up the steps and into the room where the reception was, in a room called the Bow Room, and fantastic look. Prince Philip, who was a marvellous geezer, happened to be just standing inside the door, parroting to somebody. So I went.
It's a pre-arranged signal, no doubt.
Well, no, there's not a lot of people go inside the palace. People do him. So he slung a butcher's, right, like this. See me, and I do the nod. Put a kid away. So he doesn't know where this young lady's appeared from, with a long coat on and bumpy shoes, but he has given her the beautiful smile, and she's gone, right? That was a fix-it that I really enjoyed, and I think she might remember it, even if her parents and herself are watching tonight, she might even remember it to this day, and I think a lot longer.
Good.
The guy's just chilling, isn't he? The guy is just chilling. He seems to know his way around the palace quite well, or did. Go on.
But I can only hear the audio on it. But when you actually, was you watching it?
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
So you can see that
he's just laughing about it. He's laughing about it. We know what the guy was. Pardon?
He's talking about the husband of the Queen on Michael Parkinson, that he got a young girl for him.
Yeah.
That's now people bow to these people. Now also, as far as Sun Seeing Satan's concerned, one thing that really annoyed me when I was over there, what I discovered, there is a place called the Devil's Hole. Now, in the Devil's Hole, there is a 13-foot bronze statue, which would have cost a fortune, of the devil walking on water. Now, the walking on water, right, that island of Jersey is owned by the Crown. The Queen owns the island of Jersey. The Queen also holds the title of the Supreme Head of the Church of England, which represents Jesus Christ. Why would she have the devil walking on water on her island and being the head of Jesus' religion. How can she hold that title?
I don't know. It just beggars belief to me. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, they've got no credence at all until they can explain this relationship that they had with this guy, Jimmy Savile. He met the Pope, didn't he? John Paul II. He went and saw him. What do you think about the Catholic faith now, Bill? I mean, this Pope, he's the smiley guy, yeah? Is he any better than the predecessors, or is he just less, I don't know, what?
Well, I had the Catholic religion beaten into me when I was in an orphanage, so between the age of 3 and 6.5. I took my first communion there as well. I had it beaten into me. Now, for many years, when I came out of the care system, I was just gone 17. I lost my relationship with Jesus Christ, or Jesus, I call him. I lost my relationship with him and picked up again when I was actually in New York, when I heard about Hope de la Garenne. So I believe in the spirit of the man. I believe in spirituality, and I believe the man, and I believe in the spirit and what happened to him and the immense suffering that he went to. And he also, some of the words he says, if anyone hurts a little one that is a friend of mine, they may as well put a millstone around their neck and throw themselves into the sea. But as far as the religion is concerned, no, not for me. But just Jesus is a hero to me, just like my dad was. And I still talk to my dad. Are you really there, Dad? I think he is, actually. You see what I'm saying? So I'll say to Jesus, sometimes I'll say, and I might even chuck an expletive in. I might say, Jesus, I'm having an effing terrible day. Help me out here, mate. Please. What's going on? You see what I'm saying? I'll say the same to me dad, things like that. Or other members of my family that have died, my brothers and sisters that have died because of what happened to them in places like Shirley Oaks. So as far as religion is concerned, I am a spiritual person, but I am not a religious person. Oh, I believe in the 10 Commandments, and all that. You know what I mean?
Lynn Scott says he's right. It's down to us. If we don't get off our asses, who else is going to? It is, Bill. But people, they do not like coming out of their comfort zone. Is that not a large part of it as well? Because as much as we blame the mainstream media, and I think we've got every right to do that, given their silence over the pain that's going on and has done for so many decades. On the other hand, a lot of us, we are talking to people within our circles, having gained some awareness ourselves. We talk to other people and they just do not want to know. No?
Well, it's, I talk to people when I say why don't, because there's too many cowards, because there's too many this, your upbringing is so important to what you turn out to be. That's what I believe. It is so important. And you can take charge of it, even if you're a victim. And some, I went through some terrible abuse, but, there's victims that went through worse than me. And God bless them. As I say, God bless all victims and survivors. But what was the question again? Sorry, Ollie.
Well, what worries me very often talking to people generally about some of the things that are going on, but I would put paedophilia right at the top of it because it's just such a horrid epidemic. I can't think of a more important campaign issue than to try and sort out this enormous problem. But also this VIP paedophilia thing is in a way most concerning of all because it actually affects our democracy too. And of course the child abuse is equally bad. But
world politics, it affects world politics.
Yes.
It affects banking. It affects the entertainment industry, the advertising industry, everything. All the big corporations that have got the voice of national TV, national press.
Yeah.
Well, those days are going. But they're trying to mess with us now. Even what happened with Zuckerberg, that was him saying like, "Oi, don't forget we're in charge." The Facebook guy.
Yeah.
Now they want to do it with this. They want to do it with, you know, I was talking to a mate of mine, and I said to him, I said, Mickey, I said, was the internet the second coming? And I also said it at Sillerberg. Sillerberg, I like that. Bilderberg.
Yeah.
Was the internet the second coming? If there is to be a second coming, but it is there for the people, us people.
But you know now, Bill, the EU wants to slap these things called Articles 11 and 13 onto it, which is going to make it a lot harder for us to share information, possibly very soon. Possibly very soon. I don't know. They're talking about it in the European Parliament now, aren't they? But very, very concerning if they do that. It would mean that people wouldn't even be able to share memes and political memes and stuff like that. And a lot of people will be affected, even people that are sharing their bloody cakes, yeah? But for those of us that are sharing truth or trying to and learning and sharing, this is potentially a really, really big problem. So we might only have a window of time with the internet now. I think people need to be aware of that. But my question, Lopi, yeah, okay, go on, Lopi. What would you like to say?
The only way they could do that is to do they're Islamifying all of Europe. Create it to become a more Islamic law, Sharia law sort of judicial system, and that will create the ability ostracize or the use of the internet, what you can post, what you can see, that sort of thing. That will create that ability. Have to kill the problem. That's because the problem is not the internet. The problem is the Islamifying of the European nations. Not
Thank you,
just,
Lopi.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, thank you. I'm sorry that the guests can't hear you, but thank you, Lopi. Danny Snow says, let's not forget Jill Dando. Bill, blimey, Jill Dando. I mean, it seems to me that she knew so much from Crime Watch, about Child Watch, quite possibly. Barry George we know he was a patsy. He was released in the end. Was she going to blow the lid on Jimmy Savile, do you think?
I met her once. I met her on a beach in the West Country. My wife and I. And the energy in that woman was pucker. What they done to her was outrageous. Cliff, sorry. Cliff Richard, he was one of her mates, weren't she? He became one of her best friends.
Yeah, he did.
Yes, he did. All this was coming. It was like, don't forget, when we talk about Hope de la Garenne and the island of Jersey, you're talking about, this is like a little island. All it is a bank. That's all it is. It's a bank. They don't care about the indigenous populations. And, you only look at America. Where's the indigenous population? They're still living on reservations. The American Indian owns America. In Australia, where's the Aborigines? Living in SHIT holes. Us white people are really good at stealing countries. Help.
Hey, Bill. Listen,
help me, Ollie, help me.
Oh, mate, God bless you. Helen Lasky-Smith says Princess Diana said that she was going to make a statement at the end of August, which would shock the world. Yeah, she died a week before that. And Mandy Smallman says, ever seen the film Bank Job? When they found all those incriminating pics of MPs and royalty in bank boxes. Yeah, and I think that was a true story. I don't know whether that film was, but they did do that. And I don't know. Yeah, blimey. Look, Bill, I want to say a big, big cheers, mate. Thank you. God bless you. What are you doing now? What are you working on at the moment? Are you basically taking a bit easy now? I know you're getting on a bit now, sir.
Moment, I'm not doing anything at the moment, but I'm soon going to be cooking some chicken wrapped in bacon.
Well, enjoy it. Enjoy it.
And that, the enemy, you can take that how you want it. I am going to be busy cooking chicken wrapped in bacon. All right, wankers. Sorry about that.
Bill, blimey, I'll tell you, you're so unruly, sir. You're an unruly man. Which is why so many of us love you, Bill. God bless you, mate. Thank you. I'll tell you, you break the mold. God bless you, mate. I want to say, big cheers to my special guest tonight, Bill Maloney. And to Lopi and to Carl for popping in on Discord, yeah? God bless you. Thank you, guys. And to everyone in the comments, yeah, on that Fascistbot thing, yeah, and Youpwn and DLive, that's the place to watch this show now. guv.li/chaos. I'll be back tomorrow with Gordon Bowden. Gordon Bowden, God bless him, is coming on. Finchley Road, yeah? Another whistleblower, bless him. Well, just very well researched. Bill, look, we were going to do the show originally last night, weren't we? But then we remembered that the football was on. Did you watch it?
Yeah. Well, I was. I loved playing football. I love playing football. That is the one positive thing I got out from the care system was we were fit.
Did you watch the penalty shootout, mate?
When I see it now,
yeah.
And I can't believe the amount of money these guys, kids, still, most of them, because I think everyone's a kid till they get to at least 35, and they're getting these for kicking a ball about, for playing a game.
Yeah, you're right.
And then how many really great players never got in because they wouldn't allow themselves to be abused by coaches, etc., and the rest of the footballing institution. We will never see the true talent in this country until we do away with paedophilia.
It makes you wonder. We've seen that with the Olympics, with those doctors, for example, have been called out from the US team, the athletics team. We do see that in sport. Thank you, Bill. That wasn't about the penalty shootout, but it was a lot more important, I would say. Go on.
Right, are we finished? Are we finished now?
Yeah, we are, mate. We are. God bless you. Yeah, I'm playing out the theme tune and that's it. You've been checking out the Daily Chaos. I'm Olly Connelly. See you tomorrow at 7. Here's to us and bugger plutocracy. Yeah. Cheers, Bill.
Happy Treason Day.